Serie A Genoa vs Lazio prediction, team news, lineups preview. After suffering a painful exit from Europe, Lazio will try to bounce back in Serie A, as the top four contenders visit mid-table Genoa on Monday. Beaten on penalties in the Europa League quarter-finals, the Rome club are intent on qualifying for UEFA's top competition next season, but they must play catch-up, having won just one of their last 5 league games. Match preview. Despite turning the tie around with a committed display at Stadio Olimpico, Lazio still endured defeat to Norwegian champions Bodo/Glimt in the Europa League's last 8. With a 3-1 win after extra time only setting up an agonizing penalty shootout. Continuing their streak of scoring late goals this season, substitute Tijani Noslin secured an extra half-hour with his last gasp strike. But after both sides found the net again in a dramatic finale, the hosts ultimately failed from the spot. Cruelly, it was top scorer Teddy Castellanos who saw the final penalty save Lazio's third miss from 5 attempts, and a team that had so convincingly topped the league phase table bowed out. That setback followed their 1-1 league draw with arch-rivals Roma in last week's Derby della Capitale, a result which leaves the Biancocelesti trailing behind in a frantic top 4 race. So, with the Europa League route now closed and only 6 rounds remaining in Serie A, Marco Baroni's men can afford few more mistakes if they are to return to the Champions League. Since 2015-16, Lazio have averaged 2.3 goals per game against their next opponents, their best rate against any club over that period, but recent trends suggest they may find it tougher to break them down again. Though Genoa have won only 3 of their last 17 league meetings with Lazio, losing no fewer than 11, they may feel ready to topple their capital city counterparts on Monday. Since Patrick Vieira's arrival in November, the Griffon have accrued 29 points from 20 games, which would be good enough for 9th place in the standings. Indeed, following last week's goalless draw with Hellas Verona, the Frenchman boasts the highest top-flight points average 1.45 per match of any Genoa coach this century, and his well-drilled team have long allayed any relegation fears. In 2025, the Ligurian side are unbeaten at home, with an impressive record of 5 wins from 6 so far, that is as many successes at Stadio Ferraris as they had posted throughout the previous 23. Furthermore, Vieira's men have conceded the fewest goals at home, only 2 this calendar year, and such resilience has kept them in contention for a once improbable top-half finish. Team news. Marco Baroni will be counting the cost, both psychological and physical, of his team's Europa League exit, with first-choice left-back Nuno Tavares leaving the pitch in tears after suffering yet another muscular injury and Lazio's star striker Teddy Castellanos pulling up with cramp. The latter played all 120 minutes against Bodo/Glimt despite only recently returning from a layoff, before missing the final spot kick, so he may be touch and go for Monday's trip to Marassi. In the absence of Nuno Tavares, Adam Maruzic, Elzid Hajsej and Luca Pellegrini are all contenders to start. Lumchana may come in for suspended winger Gustav Isaksson, who picked up his 5th yellow card of the season in last week's Rome derby. Centre-back Alessio Romagnoli, whose first goal and first red card in Serie A both came against Genoa several years ago, set up Tijani Noslin's late strike on Thursday and has scored twice in his last 4 league games, which is as many goals as throughout the previous 95. Meanwhile, Genoa's absence list features Maxwell Cornet, Mattia Boni, and Hugo Cuenca, while Ruslan Malinovsky is still struggling with a leg injury and could join them on the sidelines. Patrick Vieira can recall Morten Frendrup, as the Danish midfielder returns from suspension, so either Milan Badalj or Patrizio Massini may make way. Genoa possible starting lineup: Lili, Sabelli, De Winter, Vasquez, Martin, Frendrup, Massini, Zanoli, Miretti, Vitinha, Pinamonti. Lazio possible starting lineup. Mandas, Maruzic, Gila, Romagnoli, Pellegrini. Guendouzi, Ravella, Chauna, Dia, Zaccagni, Noslin. We say, Genoa 1-1 Lazio. Surely bearing the scars of their Europa League loss, Lazio could be vulnerable on Monday evening, particularly as Genoa are so tough to beat. Yet, the Biancocelesti have scored a league-leading 18 goals in the final 15 minutes this season, 6 coming after the 90th minute, and with no fewer than 16 strikes via substitutes, they should at least stave off defeat. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.